The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the NXT Championship. Introducing first, the challenger, representing Los Americanos, weighing in at 175 pounds, Bravo Americano.
Getting your week started off right as we flash back to WWE World last weekend, WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas. Blake Howard alongside the general manager of NXT, Robert Stone, and talked about being in for a treat in a couple of our matches we've called throughout the past couple of days. But talking about one right now, how about Bravo Americano joining us for this very special championship showcase?
Well, you know, as the general manager, I like to not be biased in any kind of way, not really have too many opinions. I call it right down the middle. I call what I see. But I gotta say, bravo to me, and you tell me if I'm wrong, Blake. I know you're more familiar with him, even though he has been on NXT. I don't know if I can fully trust him.
Well, I did see you doing a little salsa next.
Yeah, but salsa's got nothing to do with if this guy's gonna follow all the rules in a match. I just feel like him and his partners are always kind of up to something.
Well, that brings up a point here. We see Bravo, but where's Rayo? Where's El Grande Americano?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, there's a lot going on this weekend. There's signings. There's all kind of appearances.
I mean, you
throughout
saw the
WrestleMania.
line for Los Americanos earlier.
I did, but I gotta say, how is he gonna be in an NXT championship match? Possibly the biggest match of his career right now, without anybody out at ringside cheering him up.
I think unquestionably the biggest singles match of his career, of course. Los Americanos did receive an NXT Tag Team Championship opportunity back at Stand and Deliver, which of course you put a tournament together to find those contenders. But yeah, individually, Bravo in for a huge opportunity.
His opponent, from Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 253 pounds, he is the NXT champion, Tony D'Angelo.
We saw the dap up from the big Tony D, sitting right here at WWE World as the champion has arrived right now. And Rob, over the last few weeks, really over the last year, what a journey it's been for Tony D'Angelo to finally realize his goals of capturing NXT champion.
Yeah, absolutely. But before we get into that, I just gotta say, I would love, and I think I'm gonna look into getting one of those big blow-ups, but a Robert Stone one for my office.
I was gonna say, over the
how inviting.
Over the last couple of weeks on NXT, obviously you've taken over full-time as general manager. I'm a little shocked. I haven't seen any workout equipment. I haven't seen any kind of statues or anything like that right there in your office.
Well, that's not saying there's not a lot of new things for my office on back order. They're on the way. They're coming. I'm going to do a little bit of decorating to make it a little more Robert Stone, trust me. But back to Tony D, yeah, absolutely. What a year it's been for him. And look how good he looks walking out here with that NXT championship. I mean, there's really not much more of a deserving athlete to have that title on his shoulder.
Hey, Rob, you go back about a year ago, Stand and Deliver, right here in Las Vegas. We saw, at the time, the head of the D'Angelo family, a big fracturing, if you will, where we didn't necessarily know the future of some of the members of the family. But now looking at Tony D, ended up taking some time off, kind of refiguring himself. And when he came back, that vigilante-type figure, going after different superstars, didn't exactly know which direction he went in. In fact, had clashed with some management at the time. And since you've taken over as general manager, have you had any problems with Tony D?
You know what? He's doing his own thing, and I gotta say, I know deep inside somewhere, no matter what he's going through now, he is a good-hearted guy, and you gotta remember something. We have seen guys like Trick Williams, Oba Femi move on to the respective Raw and SmackDown brands. It was a time for Tony D to step up, and I really think he has. And even I think the whole WWE Universe is impressed, have been impressed watching his journey.
Of course, Tony D'Angelo defending his championship last weekend at WWE World, and I don't know how much Las Vegas is feeling Bravo.
Yeah, well, I don't know if Bravo thinks he's going to get Tony D to do any kind of dance moves like that, but let me tell you something, it's not going to happen.
You know, I got some dinner on the Strip last weekend, and I thought I saw Bravo dancing as entertainment during the meal.
Anything could happen in old Vegas. Have you been down there? There's some wild stuff.
You know what happens in Vegas is, of course, right now, Bravo talked about the biggest opportunity of his career here against Tony D'Angelo. We talk about Bravo's cohorts, if you will, Rayo and of course El Grande Americano, and we know El Grande Americano has the match of his life.
Wait a minute, I stand corrected. Is this
Look at those moves.
only at the World, Blake?
I'm telling you, Tony D'Angelo expanding his horizons, winning the championship, and now he can do salsa.
I can't believe Bravo was able to sucker Tony D right into that. Tony knows better.
As Bravo, of course, realizing this is a championship bout, and Tony D has to certainly take it seriously.
man.
But right now, D'Angelo,
Yeah, he did not. Nah, you upset Tony. That's not a smart thing to do, bro.
flip that switch inside of him right now. As D'Angelo running right through Bravo, and over the last couple of months, ever since returning to in-ring competition, Tony D'Angelo unquestionably in the best shape of his career.
Yeah, I mean, you could just see it, you could feel it, you could watch it. And look at this right now. You're talking about that. Look at the power. And with ease. Just, that's another human being he's holding up right now.
Is this count getting high here? He's getting a double digit.
Throw a squad in, why not?
We talked about Ivy Niles' power throughout
Yeah.
WWE World. How about Tony D'Angelo as the champ? Taking down Bravo here into the cover, hooks that outside leg. And a near fall there for the champ. And of course, Tony D'Angelo, a rich, decorated history in NXT. Former North American champion, former Heritage Cup champion, former tag team champion. Arguably the most decorated superstar in NXT history.
Yeah, I mean, what a resume. When you really think about that, I think some people will forget how much Tony D has done. When you talk about it, how impressive. Oh, but that was not impressive for him right now.
But you want to talk about impressive, also on that resume, the first man to pin the man who now defeated Brock Lesnar in Oba Femi.
Yeah, I mean, and think about that. I mean, when you say that, when Tony remembers that, then he's never has to question why he is where he's at. He's a champion. He's always been one.
As Bravo looking to take advantage right now. 4, 5.
I don't know how the
Seis.
people here feel about it in Vegas.
As Tony trying to combat him out of the corner.
Oh,
I don't know how that Los Americanos after party's gonna look. As Tony D trying to take full advantage
Man.
right now as the champ in the driver's seat right here. And Rob, we talk about,
right, he's giving it right back to him, I think.
we know how the Don can count, or the former Don, I should say.
There we
As
go.
Tony D'Angelo wasting away here at Bravo. And Rob, we've talked about several times how NXT represented all throughout this past week at WWE World. How does Tony D'Angelo represent NXT as his champ?
Well, when you look at him, he is the guy for the job. Think about how long
Here we
he's
go,
been.
cover.
Wait.
Hooks the outside leg. Not quite yet.
Think about his history here. I mean, you said it. You've listed every championship he has held. You have. We've talked about how long he's been a part of NXT. There's no better person to be the face of the brand right now than Tony, and he's doing a heck of a job.
Fireman's carry position right now as Tony looking out to the WWE Universe.
Oh, I'm already getting dizzy, and this has only been going on a few seconds.
Looks like we're gonna head right towards McCarran. Oh! As Bravo, the counter. Look at Bravo here showing off some power.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I mean, you got to give him props for that.
How many revolutions are we going here?
All right, I gotta look the other way.
As Bravo continues to spin.
I'm starting to get knots in my stomach. Please stop.
Might find her way to Legion Stadium after this point.
Chip Danning's probably even nauseous in the ring right now.
And Bravo drops Tony D. And that offensive attack might have backfired on the challenger.
Oh, he's shaking it off now a little bit. Right into it. No, wait a second.
Chip Danning.
Why not?
You talk about a weekend he had. He's going for a little bit of a spin right now.
Man, the referees are being, I'm going to have a meeting with them. They're being very lenient this week here at the World.
When you say take a spin in Las Vegas, I think it's the last thing you're thinking.
Yes.
As Chip Danning, I think he's on the script somewhere. As Bravo,
But Tony is not.
gonna fold him nearly in half with that spear. As Tony looks to capitalize, cover, and still NXT champion.
Here is your winner and still the NXT champion.
As Tony D'Angelo gets the Duke, still trying to find his bearings here.
D'Angelo.
Celebrating with the championship. Successful defense at WWE World, and what an opportunity for Tony D'Angelo to represent NXT as champion in Las Vegas for WrestleMania 42 weekend.